sure we are. Okay, we're looking good. Better than Karaoke Live last night. We'll see if we stay up for a little while. Go ahead and make sure that it's running everywhere. I did try to get a mic today that even said it was specifically for voice and guitar and for streaming. I could have still used it from my phone. I would probably still use the, restream and broadcast and things. Or just stick to just YouTube. Depends. But then it was out of stock. Like, all of the mics were out of stock in the Best Buy, including that one. So, and that one's even out of stock online, so they couldn't even pre-order it and have it delivered to my house. So, because I went to Best Buy today to see if I could replace that mic or get a new one, since that one just isn't working at all. But, but there's hope now, because I know that there's a good mic. It's by the same people that the other mic was from that will make this a lot louder. Should I move the camera closer to me for a perfect pitch? I know it's really quiet, so here, let me move you guys a little bit closer. We can get a little bit more intimate on perfect pitch. And make sure that's charging. Alright, there we go. That might be, hopefully that's a better sound quality. Let's adjust this a little bit. Okay, and if we're still streaming, that's a good thing. Okay, looks like we're still streaming. And yep, okay, good, goody gumdrop. Alright, I'm gonna pull up my comments then. CHAT Restream chat. Pull up the backup, and speaking of comments, we have a comment from yesterday's Perfect Pitch to look at by L Consciousness on YouTube. And so that is exciting. Let's do that. And also yesterday we learned that if it's a little bit blurry, we can also adjust that. I see you guys are a bit crooked. A little bit. Let's try to change that. Right? I don't know if that's straight. I think that's straighter. I was just looking at that. Okay. And so we're going to read the comment from yesterday. And so we're going to go to YouTube. Oh yeah, oops. And Bluetooth. Nope. Oh, did it connect to the right one? Okay, good. It connected to the right one. Okay, and now I already have Study Blue pulled up, but we're going to go to the comment from yesterday to read it. I don't think this phone has the studio on it. So, yesterday's, making sure we stay live. That is a perfect thumbnail for yesterday's show. Like, go back and, hold on, I need to show you guys this. I was so tired. That's a perfect thumbnail. Let me see. Adjust. Focus. Come on. Okay, well, you'll go on YouTube. So this one right here where my finger is, that one. That's a perfect thumbnail for yesterday's show. Just perfect. Even though that was obviously me, like, thinking and stuff, like, that's still... I'm just going to leave that thumbnail. That's great. That's great. That's absolutely great. But anyways, back to the comment from yesterday by L Consciousness. Now, I did like this. I don't know why it's not showing, but... Oh, because this is on Justin's actual account. Okay. It says, actually, there are plenty of perfect pitch groups who reported, and online groups such as the old Yahoo perfect pitch groups and the current perfect pitch groups on Facebook, loss of pitch accuracy due to tiredness. I once read a report of someone who always needed about 5 to 10 minutes after awaking from a night's sleep from his or her for his/her pitch to readjust back to normal. Would you be interested to hear about how you could listen to sounds differently that could help you in perceiving the uniqueness of each tone? Yes? If not, do not read my next and following paragraphs, as therein I will explain the process. Of course I want to learn that. And you took the time to type all of that out. I know I've done that before. I'll get into a writing mode. So I don't know if you did this, if you just got into a writing mode, you got inspired, got into a writing mode, and then you're like, will that person even care? And so you go back and you edit, if you're not interested in my rant, if you're not interested in this, do not read the next paragraph. So I don't know if that's what you did, but I appreciate you taking the time to write this all out, even if you're like me and you just like to write. But either way, it still takes time to, write it all out, think about it, all that kind of stuff. So no, of course I appreciate it. And of course I want to learn. I've already read this comment, but I'm going to read it again. Here's the process. You want to begin listening to each tone as if it were a language. If this tone were a language, which it is in a way, what is it saying? Here is what to listen for to narrow that instruction down. What vowels are you hearing? Each tone has a different set of vowel-like structures, a multiple of different vowel-like sounds, and they are always the same for each different tone. Do not attempt to decipher how many vowels you hear or which ones are or is the most dominant. Your brain will do this automatically. I should add, my brain does. This approach works also, and in many cases, especially well with imaginary tones. I am familiar with the concept of imaginary tones because I used to be really into binaural beats. And binaural beats is when they'll play one tone that's they'll play two different frequencies, and but they'll play the frequencies in such a way that your brain imagines the middle tone, fills it in basically, and it's an imaginary tone. It doesn't they're not actually playing that tone at all. But the purpose of binaural beats is to make your brain emit serotonin or dopamine or whatever, or emit, you know what I mean, things that's supposed to, either make you more focused or make you more focused or more tired or whatever, based on this imaginary tone that you're hearing that the frequency gives you. So I'm actually familiar with the concept of imaginary tones. I don't know if you're referring to imaginary tones in the way I just described it, but so this approach works also, and in my case, especially well with imaginary tones. But of course, he's talking about imagining the tones themselves, but either way, just think the tone and you will perceive the same vowel-like structures that are unique to each individual tone. Of course, this may take plenty of practice to get good at. Yeah, so, also reading this comment, let me pull up the Facebook comments. Why aren't they up? Okay. Also, reading this comment makes me realize that, one, of course, you're an OG in the perfect pitch community, because